Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you, and today I want to talk to you about using Proviron in PCT, your post-cycle therapy. But before we get into that, just a big shout out and thank you to everybody out there watching and supporting the channel. It's amazing, it's humbling, and I cannot thank you enough. If you haven't yet, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Just interact with the channel any way that you can. It helps us to grow, and it allows me to produce more and more content for you each and every day. Also, today's video is sponsored by our good friends at letsgetchecked.com. Now, letsgetchecked.com specializes in at-home blood testing. It's very, very simple. Go to the website. Go check out all the tests they offer. They have everything for men and women, from wellness, hormonal, sexual health. It's all in there. Check it out. Order whatever that you want to get. Use coupon code Gemelli30. Save yourself 30% off your entire order. They're going to ship the kit to you. All you have to do is go online, register it, provide the sample, ship it back. You're going to get test results extremely fast. And on top of that, which something that's really nice, is they have doctors and nurses there that are going to answer any questions that you have or concerns about your results. And it's just simple, fast, efficient. Letsgetchecked.com. Gemelli30 is going to save you 30% off. All right, so today's topic at hand. This is a good one, and this is one that I get asked far more than you would probably expect. And that is whether or not you can use Proviron during a post-cycle therapy. So that's a tricky question because some people are just going to flat ass out come out and tell you, no, you can't do that. It's a steroid. It's suppressive. It's this, this, and this, and this. Well, I do agree because it's factual that it is a steroid. I'm going to have to tend to disagree on a lot of the things that get put out about it because a lot of it is, and rightfully so, I think, to a point, but rightfully not, and I'm going to tell you why. Rightfully so, because the first thing you hear is it's a steroid, so you automatically assume because it's an oral steroid that it's toxic, and then, of course, being a steroid, you're automatically going to assume that it's suppressive, so counterproductive to your post-cycle recovery, obviously. But here's where you have to step back and realize that just because something is grouped with something doesn't necessarily mean that it's all the same. One, no toxicity. It is not altered. It is not C17 alpha alkylated. It is non-toxic. I've seen very, very few reports of people that have said that they've had slightly elevated liver values, and I could attribute that to several things. That could be attributed to they didn't have real Proviron. That could be something to do in their diet. And so there's several different mitigating factors out there that you have to look at and circumstances for people. So understand that it's not toxic. Even if you feel or that you claim or whatever that you got small toxicity from it, if you run supports with it, you're not going to see any of that anyway because it's so small on what you could possibly endure with it. Then that brings us to the next about it being suppressive. So it's a very weak compound to start with in terms of anabolic strength, androgenic strength, things like that. It doesn't show suppression. The people that tend to report that or see that are running at well over 100 milligrams. I have seen studies that show it being non-suppressive under 100 milligrams. And there's a few out there that you can look up. But more than that, I have on-hand experience in coaching and witnessed it for over a decade. And I don't go around recommending it. You watch my PCT videos, you know I don't put Proviron in my recommended PCT. It's not something that I tell people to go on and do. But if you're asking me if you can do it, as long as you're running a full and proper post-cycle therapy and you're running it 4 weeks, there is no problem with it. There's not. I dare you to show me somebody that's running a full post-cycle therapy with Clomid and Novadex and Aromacin, even at a lower dose. Things that need to be addressed and done in post-cycle therapy to ensure a proper recovery. The people that run the proper post-cycle therapy that have run Proviron do not have any hindrance whatsoever to their recovery. They just don't. And you can look up different accounts of this online. You can see plenty of people reporting it. But the thing that I can tell you is my hands-on, first-hand experience coaching people. I've done it, but I'm not going to also lie and come up here and act like I ran a million PCTs because I haven't, because I had put myself on TRT way too early before I ever should have. Even though I was in my 30s, or right at the beginning of my 30s, I didn't start using steroids till I was a lot older because I knew better, because I coached it forever. Regardless, I only ran a few PCTs before I just decided to be on TRT. Asshole move that I totally disagree with, but what's done is done. And that's why I teach people to not make some of the mistakes that I made. Just remember that some of the best teachers made the most mistakes. They learned from them and they're able to teach them and correct them is the difference. We all make mistakes, but it's how many times we keep making the same one over and over. But that's neither here nor there. Just to understand that while that misconception might be thrown out there, most of the people that do that are either parroting some kind of bad information they got, they have zero experience doing it, or they heard or read something or just assumed it. And we all do that. I've done it plenty. So I'm not like... This is for educational help and to see, it's kind of to point out where errors are made so you don't do it. It's not be a dickhead and tell everybody they're stupid and da-da-da-da-da. No, because that's not true. We're all quick to assume things. We're all quick to just, okay, so this is this, so that has to be this. We all do it. That's why it's important to have somebody out there that can kind of say, hey, I do it, you do it, we all do it, but here's the problem with it. It's wrong. And this is an instance where it's wrong. Once again, I'm not telling you my recommended PCT now contains Proviron. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're asking me if you can do it, my answer is yes. And with that caveat of as long as you're running the proper post-cycle therapy. And I guess I should mention not running the dose too high. There's no need to go over 50 milligrams of Proviron. It's not like you're going to see some crazy added benefit by doing that. You're not. It's not meant for this big muscle mass build and things of that nature. That's not it. And you watch my Proviron video and I'll tell you what it's meant for and why I love it so much. And I even have a separate video, the 5 big benefits of Proviron, that you can watch as well, that'll break it all down and discuss it for you. So, you know, that's one of the main things is you got to understand your compounds fully. I always stress, don't use anything, supplement, protein powder, I don't care, because there's different types of protein powders, different types of creatine. Don't use them unless you understand what they are, what they do, and how they work. Don't do that. I see so many people that will write me and say, I just bought this, and this, however much shit they could get their hands on. How do I use it? And it's just... That one bothers me so much because I don't grasp nor understand how anybody could just buy a bunch of things and not know how to use them beforehand. I don't get that. So please understand your compounds before you use them. Understand what you're getting yourself into, what you're using, what you need to do with it. This is important, and I get frustrated because I just don't understand how that's not common knowledge. But if it's not, which it clearly is not, take my word for it. Don't go buy things that you don't know how to use. Please, just don't. But Proviron, can you use it in PCT? Yes. Don't use over 50 milligrams, and don't run it more than 4-6 weeks if you're running a longer PCT. Don't do that. But otherwise, I don't see the issue. But what do I know? That being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.